Hello, welcome everyone. Wednesday afternoon, the 11th of September, and we are driving home talking business with Phil East and Corey Millard. I'm Glenis Gassmann, business strategist, CEO of More Customers, More Profits. And we're coming to you from the business heart of Australia, which is downtown Melbourne. Thanks for being with me on the drive home tonight. And like I said, joining me is Phil East, and Phil's not in Gippsland tonight. He's up on the Gold Coast having a bit of a holiday, but he's made time to jump on the drive home tonight. Thank you, Phil. How are you?
G'day, Glenis. Yes, I am absolutely sensational, and the Gold Coast is almost as good as Gippsland.
Fantastic, awesome. And also tonight we've got Corey Millard from Melbourne Business Video Production. And Corey, how are you tonight? Where are you?
I'm doing well, Glenis. I'm in Melbourne, sunny old Melbourne.
Sunny. It's beautiful out there today. I got my vitamin D today. So, yeah, and Corey, you're going to talk to us tonight all about the power of storytelling and getting your offers out on video and business and promotion, yeah?
That's right, yeah. So just, as you said it best, the power of video, of storytelling in your business and how videos can promote your business, yeah.
Awesome. And look, just before we get into all of that, of course, we want to tell you why we're doing what we're doing. You know, we jump on these drive homes every Wednesday afternoon and we talk business, we have a bit of fun. And why are we doing it? Well, we know that business is a beast. It really is. It's big. And there's many different facets of the business. And we want to share with you all the expertise in the Referrals Over Breakfast network of all our star business owners in there and bring them online and just share with everyone out there in business world, you know, some new things they may not know on how they can grow their business. You know, for me, for those of you who know me, you know, I am all about business growth. You know, there's three things that, three phases that businesses are in. They're either thriving, they're either stagnating, or they're either in extinction. And I know that firsthand because I've been an accountant and I've seen that happen. We really want to be in the thriving all the time, and that is growing your business. So I know that growing your business, it takes marketing, and part of marketing is promotion, and it's part of video. So this is all about tonight. We're going to share with you lots and lots of tips I think Corey is going to come with to all around, you know, growing your business and making sure you thrive in your business, because thriving is where you got to get to, isn't it, Phil?
Most definitely.
Yeah. And for those of you who don't know Phil, so Phil's actually a business coach, and he really looks after lots of businesses around the Gippsland area, all over Australia really. But you know, he doubles profits of businesses, sometimes even triples businesses. You want to have a chat with Phil. If you're a family business and you really want to make more profits, you have a chat with Phil because he'll be able to help you with that as well. So, I'm going to introduce you to Corey. Oh, and before I do that, we've got Chris on the line, and I know you see Chris, and he's not talking much, but he's just keeping us in line, really.
Yeah, oh, come on, I'm a special guest this week. This is special.
Yes, on video. Hi, Chris. Thank you for being online tonight. It's great to have you here. Yes. And yeah, and don't forget, if you've got any questions around video promotion in your business, how you can use video, no question is a silly question, so please pop it in the Q&As, and we're going to stop periodically over the night, and we're going to, you know, throw these questions out to Corey. He's going to answer them for you. So just keep typing in there. We want lots of questions. I know you've got a few of you on tonight. So that's great. Thank you for being there. Thank you for joining us on the drive home. So, Corey, tell me, I want to know, you're a young guy, you know, and, you know, how long have you been in business, and, you know, why did you do video? Yeah, I want to know a little bit more about you in the background and what makes Corey Millard tick.
What makes me tick? Okay, yeah, well, so in business, I've probably been operating mine for just over a year now, but prior to that I was freelancing a lot, and I learned a lot while I was freelancing, but how it all came to be was I originally studied advertising and I learned a lot from there, but I always had this burning passion to create film and create sort of moving content, and it wasn't until I went to film school after my advertising studies that I really found that I could blend both my tertiary studies together and just make content for businesses, which is just what I'm so passionate about.
Yeah, that's really great. And
Yeah.
and you're doing that, and you're being very successful at it. I know you've told me offline quite a lot of success stories that you've had with some of these as well. Do you want to share us, a success story that you've had so far?
Yeah, well, I've got some bigger clients that I didn't even think I would get in the first year, but I've been working with companies like Swiss, the vitamin company, and even Grinders, the coffee company. So these are all pretty well-established businesses, and it's just been awesome that they've jumped on my creative talents and they want me to sort of create content for them. So
and what sort of content have you been creating for them?
Yeah, well, that's what I was going to talk about today. So a lot of it's been culture-based and really building their brand image through social media channels mostly, but it's also on their website and all those sort of avenues. So it comes down to what I was referring to last week when we did the promo for me. It's just the art of storytelling and the power of storytelling for your business. Yeah.
So storytelling and business, a lot of people don't put that together. I consider storytelling, when my kids were little and I would, 7 o'clock go in and read them stories for an hour but to get them to sleep, you know what I mean? So storytelling and business, how does that correlate? Yeah.
Yeah, no, I get it. It's a fair question. So the way I see it is behind every great business, there's a great story, and people want to know that. I think being a business owner like we all are, like it takes something to be one, and people find it really insightful and great to hear about how that came to be, how you, like what values you have for your business, what ethics you have, and sort of just seeing an authentic person tell a story about business is really compelling for viewers to watch.
Yeah, and tell us a story? Who have you actually created a story for in business? Are you allowed to say something like that? Yeah.
I think the campaign's not out yet, but so for Swiss, we've been doing this campaign. We're going to follow all the executives in the head office and do a day in the life. So we sort of see them wake up, they do meditation. Because it's a wellness company, all the employees really have those traits about wellness. And so I've just been doing a day of filming them and just capturing their lifestyle, and it really just shows that they don't just walk the talk the talk, they actually walk the walk, the employees. And that leads back into, like I was saying, about you're telling a story about employees, but it also encompasses the business and the brand.
Yeah, absolutely. I can see the power in that because, I mean, we can have really compelling words on the page for people and for promotion, but there's a lot of people that don't learn through just reading those words. Like they will listen and, actually having like a video to watch and listen, or even to watch, and they start seeing brand values through a video. That's really powerful. That's almost like 4D, isn't it?
It is. I think there's the stat that I read recently, 90% of information is retained through video, where it's only 10% when it's read through text alone. So it just reinforces that message. And that's something that you know very well. Messaging it's so important, and that's a big thing about coming back to storytelling. You need to have your message clearly identified. Otherwise, you're just creating a video for the sake of it. There's nothing behind it.
No strategy.
Yeah.
That means there's no money at the end of it, really.
Yeah.
And we have a quick question, and there's one from Zeno in here. So thank you for being on the line, Zeno. It's great to see you. Well, I can't see you, but great that you're there. But we've got, what's an ideal budget for a small business to devote to video? So that's really cool. I like that. It's got a bit of numbers in it.
It is a good question. Well, it's flexible because it can come down to what you sort of want. So every video varies, but you can go as low as using your phone to record it, and even use me as a consultant. I can always give out pointers to how you can have it most effective. But it varies. I've done some for 500 all the way up to over 3,000. So it just, or 5,000, sorry. So it does vary in what you're wanting, but it comes down to, like I said before, your messaging. So if you just want a simple grab and just say a 15-second video just to say what you're about, what you want to do, that won't cost much money. But if it's like a 3-minute video with all these graphics and stuff, that's when you start needing to know exactly who your audience is and what your message is, because otherwise you're just going to do, as I said, you're going to waste your money spending all this money on something that's not going to compel the audience.
Yeah, and I know that in the RoB Academy, so for all of those of you listening, part of being on the Referrals Over Network membership, you do actually have access to the RoB Academy, and in there's a couple of great videos about how to do videos for your business. And one in particular, I know, Corey, you've been through that because you brought this to my attention, is that there's about 20 videos that you can do to start off when you're starting off any business. There's about 20 videos you can do. And some of them are the front end video, some of the end with the different offers. And then you've got the different videos on the different problems that people are having in your target market. But you could do the whole 20, put them all together, and then they've got videos for 12 months or even 24 months and reuse them in all the different channels, right?
Yeah.
So if you had to do something like that for, to work with someone to get that together, like we're talking 20 videos, but then they could use that multiple ways, that sort of thing. I mean, that's a huge investment. Yeah.
Yes.
What sort of dollars are you talking about to do that?
So 20 videos, yeah. You're looking, again, it just depends on what is going to be on the video, but a general rule of thumb, most videos for me lately have been from $1,500 to $2,000. But obviously, the more you do, I can use the same content from the days I filmed, so it can be condensed.
Yeah.
Probably around a $20,000 investment you're looking. But as you said, once you have it all there, you can just slowly drip it out. So you've got all your content for the year basically ready to use.
Yeah, awesome. Yeah, hey, Phil, sorry, put your hand.
Sorry, can I just ask a question now? Look, I lost you a little bit there. So yeah. I'm learning a lot, and I'm really into this, and I get a lot of my good information from the RoB Academy. So I'm right across what Glenis is saying there, but I'm in the zone of making one video, and then all of a sudden I've got 20, and I don't know what 20 I need to make. I was thinking I need to make one. Can you just let me know a little bit more about what that 20 video thing is, or what do we do there? Or do we just start with one and then go with the rest? Or
well, every month you might. Yeah, no, I guess it's a good question. So every month you might have something new you want to promote or sort of push to your target audience. So that's when having more videos than just one is going to be beneficial. So it just really depends on what sort of campaigns you're running, what sort of what your messaging is, because you can have one that lasts a whole year, but generally it can get outdated eventually. So it's always good to have, a refreshing video feed of different content.
So who decides how many videos I need, or what I?
Well, it comes down to,
or do you help me, or how do I?
Kind of collaborate. So you throw out what you want, you throw out what you're wanting to achieve through the video, and then we can work out a strategy of how we can implement it best.
Right. Okay.
Yeah.
It's more like, it's from a campaign more point of view. Sorry, Chris, I know you were going to jump in. It's more from a campaign point of view. So if you've got a campaign, you want to go out to a particular type of a client, and they've got multiple problems that you can provide a solution to. So you would, maybe you've got themes or seasonal sort of stuff, and you want to just get it all over and done with in one shoot, right? Because it's obviously better for Corey to do that, and it's cheaper for you to do all that. And then you've got everything all up front. You've got some different intros. You obviously take a couple of different, jackets and stuff like that, and you do, a couple of little up front, and then you have different offers for different things. So in the RoB Academy, it does take you through that concept in video 21, 22, guys. So it's a really good, powerful thing. One of the things too that Corey does do is he can get this funded for you if you need it. So if you do want, that level of video, I know that he can get funding from some funding companies to actually help you pay that off over a 12-month period or so. Yeah.
Yeah, that's right.
Sorry, Chris. Yeah.
Sorry, Chris, you go.
Yeah. So I was just going to say, but sometimes your video, especially if you're running a campaign, want to react to the responses from the campaign.
Yeah.
So video 3 has a great response rate. You look at what was in video 3 and see if it's worthwhile having either a follow-up video or more of that video. That's what I find works with when you're doing video and social media for storytelling anyway. So
Yeah,
I agree with that. I agree with that, definitely. I think what Glenis was leading to is more, as she said, I can film one day, because I've done it for Swiss. So basically I was only one day filming, which is, they pay the day figure, and then I've done 5 videos from that one day. So, but as you mean, being reactive to follow-up videos as well is another way to do it for social media, definitely.
exactly, because we all think we know what our target audience is going to say, but then they have a response to something, whether, and you said it before, it could be seasonal, it could be topical, something happened in the news, and you're like, hang on, we have video 14 now that's relevant to that, let's bring that forward to video 7 instead of 14, because it's a rainy day, and hey, let's bring the rainy day video out. So
yeah, absolutely. I mean, you might even want, I mean, you can do it however you like, I suppose, but you might even want to run a campaign per quarter, and you know, Corey does so many videos per quarter for you or whatever. The main thing is that you got to have like the storytelling and the power behind that offer that you're offering out there, because 90% of people are listening to, and it's just even tonight, you know, this is a podcast. Typically podcasts, you don't see video, but you know, we're doing something a bit different. We're doing video with it because people actually resonate with the people who are behind that podcast, right? And it makes it more interesting. They can start seeing people and build rapport with them as well. So, so Phil, did that answer your question?
Yeah, it's got me back on track. Thanks for that. I just had a bit of a brain spin there for a moment. So,
that's all right. I can go from 1 to 20 videos in a second, right?
So Corey, like Richard Branson, he says that brand storytelling is the great way to get your brand across and differentiate your brand, get your story across. So when I want to tell my story, what are the three best things that I can do to, well, what are the 3 top reasons why I should actually tell my story?
Yeah, well, it's actually probably what gets in the way for people that I find is what stops them doing the video. Because as I said it before, if you're not clear in your message, it doesn't work. That's a big one. The other one is they don't have the resources, whether it's the equipment to do it, the know-how, the time, or even the cash flow. But the biggest thing I think, and I found it even when I do videos myself, it's just that people don't feel comfortable in front of the camera. Usually it takes me several takes when I'm filming myself just to get it right, because when that camera's on me, it just doesn't feel natural. And I find a lot of people have that same experience.
Yeah, that's me.
Yeah, I love it. I love being in front of the camera.
You're all for it, are you?
I just don't like the sound of my own voice, like many people don't. But that's another thing.
That's another thing. That's the same as being in front of the camera. When they hear their voice back, they cringe a little bit. But it's always. Yeah.
So one thing, I've actually had some videos done. Corey's done some videos for me, and he really does make you feel at home. He makes you feel really comfortable in front of the camera. And I'm one of the biggest critics, as you know. I'm a Virgo, for God's sake. You know, I'm criticizing, you know, and I've always got to look at the other side of things. So, you know, like I criticize myself worse than what anyone else would. And, you know, he made you feel really comfortable, and he also makes you look good. And I like that, you know, because we all want to look good, right? So for me, it was like, oh, I want to touch up a few of the wrinkles around my eyes. Corey, yeah, not a problem. Let's do that, you know, on some photos. But he just has a unique ability. And this is what, you know, I find you've got a unique ability to have the right props and things around. And we talk about that beforehand. So tell us a little bit more how you set the scene for people.
Yeah, well, you had a funny video, because it was, what we're trying to create was you being wise and sort of intelligent. So we had like a little pet owl just to create that sort of feel. And that was really, you still got it?
Somewhere there, yeah.
But yeah, so this comes down to, I guess, my love of film, and it's just about the theme, and I really love the whole idea of creating this, the setting and everything. It comes down to, even when I was filming, sorry to go off topic, but I was filming this lady, and she had this awesome chocolate shop that she used to run, and I was doing a testimonial for her, and just the colours and everything looked so great in camera. It really set the mood for who she was. Her personality was really bright and vibrant, a little bit quirky, and the background just really set the scene, and the video turned out great. So I think it's just capturing the person, but also having the setting reflect that as well. Yeah.
And it sounds like you worked with service-based industries. You've got retail, you've just said. You've got big brands. Is there anyone in particular that you like to work with, or you're focusing on right now, or any groups of people?
Yeah, so I've actually really wanted to go after the property market. So property experts, anyone from real estate agents to developers to buyer advocates and vendors. It's a really booming market, and I find that video is only increasing for this industry. So I really want to get in there. I've done a few already, but I want to cement my spot and be more of a dominant expert in this field. So
saturate the market with video. Yeah. That's great. Mm-hmm. And so, have we got any more questions in the chat, in the Q&A? So Phil,
well, I've actually got one just for myself, just because, as I say, I like to learn a few things on here. Now, just with a story, Corey.
Yeah.
Usually you've got a hero and a villain, a bit of adversity, and a triumph. Might have a positive takeaway at the end, make everyone feel good. You usually feel some sort of empathy towards the character. How can I do that with my brand, or even if I want to tell my own story? How do I go about doing that, or do you have any tips for us around that?
I think the biggest thing for a business owner is to be authentic when they're talking, because their prospects are going to tell straight away if they're not being genuine. So you can't really fake it, and you got to be colourful. And as you said, there's no villain or hero. It's really just having a beginning, a middle, and an end, and just evoking emotion within the audience, because you're going to be able to appeal to them somehow, whether it's their lifestyle, their problems, or their life, or their interests. That there's a way that you can really appeal to them.
Very interesting. I have a couple of questions. And this is from Joan. Joan tends to come on our drive home a lot. Hi, Joan. Thank you for putting the question in. Very relevant. What's the length of a really good video like these days?
They say the attention span's at most 2 minutes, but honestly, it does come down to the content and what you're showing, I find. But what you'll hear a lot of people say is 1 minute to 2 minutes is the standard sort of business video. But if you're creating something that's very educational and very entertaining, I find you can go longer. It just depends on what the content is.
And formats. So I've got another question here from Selena. Thanks, Selena. Selena and Joan seem to be coming on every Wednesday, which is awesome. Which formats work for video these days? Is it only YouTube, or do Vimeo, Instagram, IGTV, Facebook, Instagram, or any others look to be better for business video storytelling? So what's the best format? Yeah.
That's a good question. So I wouldn't say there's a best one. It depends where your audience most frequent. So say you've got a younger audience, generally they'll probably be on Instagram more so than LinkedIn. But that's the thing, all social medias plus YouTube plus Vimeo, there's a lot of streaming outlets now. So it's more with the research of where your audience is the best way to go. But you might as well put them on all of them, I find. If you want the best spread, it doesn't hurt to put them on all you, because most companies will have a Facebook, an Instagram page, a LinkedIn page, a YouTube account. So you might as well use all of them. But to be really effective is you've got to know where your audience spend most of their time.
That's right. I work in the RoB Academy. That's the 3 M's: media, message, market, and match them. So Corey's spot on with the RoB Academy there.
That's right.
Hey, I have a question in relation to these videos myself, and that is, like, do you put them out, like, do you do the monitoring at the end, or the analytics? Like, people are going to put all these videos out there, and then, how do you know what works and what doesn't work? Because Chris mentioned that before, if you find that one on month 3 works, or there's something there and you've got to, you know, redo another video or do something else to address that. You know, who does all the analytics? Do you pass it over to somebody, or what works?
Yes, generally that would be more so Chris's department. So a social media guru would be the one that can go through all the analytics, see what's working. I mainly create the content and then give it back to the business owner, and then from there he can distribute it to all the right outlets. If he's got a social media person, he'll use him, but otherwise he'll do it himself. Yeah.
Okay, that's awesome. And Joanne, we've got a lot of questions. Keep them coming in, guys. It's really awesome. Joanne says, is there any tips for filming with my phone? So she doesn't want to use you, Corey.
Yeah. It's funny. I've actually got this one a lot, and I did a campaign where it was filming all these different executives from all over the world, and obviously I couldn't get there to do it. So I got them to film on their phone, but I gave them tips of how to do it, so at least the quality would be good and I could work with that in the post-production stage. So I have got an article. I'm happy to send it out if anyone wants to contact me after this video. But the main things are the lighting. So I think, like, we're all struggling now with the sunlight now, but you don't want to have the sunlight directly behind you. You want it in front of you. That's a great way to have awesome lighting. Phone always landscape, because that way when you put it on your computer or any sort of tube service, you're not going to get those black bars on the side. That's a big thing that everyone messes up. And there's more to go on, but they're the 2 big things I would recommend for now. But as I said,
you've always got to have lighting in front of you. Yeah.
Always in front of you. You never have it behind, because then you just look like a silhouette. And then sound. So you got to have the phone quite close to you, because sound can get muffled easily as well. And
always on landscape.
Yeah.
And, so there you go, Joanna. Thank you for putting that in, because I've just learnt something from that as well, which is awesome.
Can I just add something to that?
Yeah.
Corey's just mentioned that the sound is really important. And I found that, you know, I don't want to give them a plug, but you could go down and spend maybe $70 or $80 at JB Hi-Fi and get a little microphone that hooks into your iPhone, and it makes your videos on your iPhone just that much better, and the sound that much more clear. So
that's exactly right.
Does it do it for Androids?
Does it for whichever way you want to do it.
We're not just partial to iPhones here.
Maybe any of those places will help you out.
Well, when you say iPhone, because I used to spend literally hundreds of dollars a year on headphones for my Android, because I would buy it and it would only work for an iPhone. And so, $200, $220 headset, and then I'd have to go back and change it and da-da-da-da. So I'm a bit of a novice when it comes to these additional things.
You'd probably get a longer life out of your Android headset, because they don't change their kit as often as Apple does to get a little bit more money out of it.
Exactly.
Did I say that out loud?
Yeah, no, that's all good. Well, we've got... from Aaron, is DVD dead now? Oh, that's a horror story for we ever want one. Yeah,
that's a good question. I actually still love collecting DVDs. I think I like something tangible. Like I have all my dad's vinyl, so I'm a big collector of vinyl still. And so for me, I think DVDs are still like me, still clinging on to my childhood. So I don't think many people do. I think I'm quite rare. I think everyone's on Netflix and Stan, because it is that much easier. But yeah, no, I still buy DVDs.
I've still got whatever those videos are. What do you call them?
VHS.
VHS.
Oh, really?
All of the Disney ones. Yeah. I love the Disney ones, but yeah, that's all good. I can't play them. Yeah,
that's the thing. It's hard to play now. So DVD, you can still play a little bit, but
yeah. I know. So Phil, I'm going to throw to you, because I know that you've been wanting to do lots more video for your business. Are you learning some of these things tonight? And is there any other questions from Corey around how we can get Corey's knowledge out there to like clients, yourself, and to clients? Because I know you have a few clients around, wanting to promote their business as well. How do you see video going?
Well, Corey's doing a sensational job tonight, I must say. I'm learning heaps. And as Corey mentioned earlier, video is the best way to get your story across, or your message. And it can be, as we touched on before, it can be easily repurposed and cut up. So as far as moving and, I suppose, making the story and being authentic, as Corey said, and how do you get over the Corey makes people, you seem to make people very confident, or
Comfortable behind camera. He does.
How do you make someone feel comfortable being vulnerable? Because if someone's got to emit a bit of emotion to tell their story or get their brand across, how can people get over that?
Yeah, well, I think the issue is, I don't think it would be just with the camera on you that you don't like to be vulnerable. I think some people find vulnerability hard in general. So what I try and do is let them know that it will look good. Like, I will make sure that it comes out and they're looking good. I do express that. But I think people think they got to do it perfect every time, or they got to be perfect in front of camera. But I give them permission to make mistakes, basically. I'm like, look, if you don't get it right, it's fine. We can do as many takes as we need to. And I can always cut it up so it looks seamlessly, even though you've probably done 10 different takes. So there's tricks to making it look really flawless. So yeah, I think I just let people make mistakes is the best way to have them get over that fear of being vulnerable.
Mm.
Yeah. And do some of those mistakes actually make it a little bit more authentic, dude?
And that's another thing. Yeah, once they give up looking perfect and they be more vulnerable, then yeah, it does definitely be more authentic as well.
Because people love to see other people stuff up. All right.
It makes them feel better about themselves.
Because then they don't feel bad themselves, right? So the more you can do a video, and if you muck up or you say something and then you correct yourself or whatever, it's really authentic.
Yeah.
And it's actually quite compelling, I think, when you start seeing people like that, because you see their true self. They're not. It's not a pretend or a put on. Yeah.
Yeah.
Now, I just have one more selfish question, because, like I say, I'm learning a lot here myself. That's why I like getting on here. I can learn so much. Now, Chris, you might be able to help us as well if you have something to add in addition to what Corey may say. But we touched on before about social media, and you mentioned about landscape, Corey. Now, I've noticed when I want to put something just on my story instead of on my page, it won't let me do it landscape, and it doesn't have the same impact if I do it landscape. It has the same impact on my story. So is there how do I get the best of both worlds?
That's a good question. I think I'll let Chris take this one as well, but for me, sometimes you can't. That's the worst thing. Sometimes if I was to film for, say, an Instagram story, I'd need to make sure I'm doing it in the right dimensions. Otherwise, I've got to try and cut the video to a certain angle. You can make it work, but you sort of just be mindful where it's going to live if you're doing it for certain platforms.
So if I wanted to double it as a post, then the post would just have to have those black lines down the side, sort of thing, or.
Yeah,
in some cases, yeah.
Otherwise, you have to take it into an editor and crop it down and do it that way. But unfortunately, each medium has their own quirk. I mean, even IGTV has its own thing where you've got to record it in portrait, and then it's no use in other mediums. So digital's still finding its feet, I think. That's one of the things.
Sounds like it.
What I love about traditional video is that it's built on the big screen and it's landscape and it's got its dimensions. And but you'll even see that in old movies. The format change, as you know, Corey, and you stand up with the black screen beside the video, even on old movies and the TV. Yeah,
that's right. The move to widescreen, it was a big thing. They stretched out the quality of the film. But a little trick that I do, so you can do the most of your videos, if you shoot in 4K, which is a real high quality of film, you can actually manipulate it more, because if it's going to only be on HD on the internet, say, what you're saying, Phil, with the lines, I can actually make it smaller so it doesn't actually manipulate the quality of the footage. It still comes out with HD because I filmed it in such a high quality to start off with. It's got much more maneuverability.
Yeah, right. Okay.
So little
That's
tricks around
why
it.
you're the videographer and we don't do that.
Yeah,
So go and see Corey.
that's right.
We have to go see Corey because he can get all that done for us and make us look good on the camera. I have another question from Zeno. Thanks, Zeno. Thank you for putting this in. To you, Corey, it says, I've heard from some marketing gurus these days that we need to be pumping out multiple pieces of content every single day. And video would be ideal, but it could be costly to do video with so much content. Have you got any pointers? I'm going to add something to that after you, Corey. Yeah.
Yeah, sure. So I think definitely be consistent with your content, but if you're pumping it out just to hit a certain number, then I think you might lose the value of what you're doing. It comes down to what we were saying before about your message. There needs to be a reason why you're putting it out there. But there are other ways. Like I said, I'm not against people who use their phone. I reckon there's value in just say there's something you need to get out quickly, you haven't got time to contact someone like myself. By all means, record it with your phone and do it there. Yeah, so that's all I think about that.
Yeah, I think, so in answer, Zeno, it's really important that people don't go and chuck out video without a strategy. You have to have a strategy as to why you're doing video, and you have to know who that ideal target market is and what their biggest problem is and what your messages are going to be around that. And it's like what we said earlier about the 20 videos that you could create up front. You could do all that and then roll them out over the 12-month period. And it could be like that with additional ones. But you don't have to go pumping out a whole heap of video every day unless you're a huge business and you want thousands and thousands of leads. You've really got to look at, well, how many leads can I actually deal with? Because there's no point people coming to you from lots of lead generation you're doing and you can't even do the work, right? You've got to be able to follow them up and you've got to be able to get them on board and convert them. So, you test and measure, and you've really got to, and I would suggest, you've got access to the RoB Academy, go look at video 21, 22, Phil, wasn't it?
Yeah, I think it was somewhere around there.
22.
Glenis,
really
yes.
Have a look at what those 20 videos could be and have a chat to Corey because, you could turn those 20 videos into something that could turn out every day, but you're not videoing every day. You've actually done it all in advance with one day. So that's just something I want to throw out there. Anything to add to that, guys?
No, I think you're right. I strongly agree with not just doing video, just pumping them out for no reason other than just have videos on your social media. You need to have a strategy behind it, most definitely.
Yeah.
Just to add to that, it's knowing your audience. If your audience is expecting videos every day, then that's why you would do videos every day. But that's not really going to be the expectation of pretty much any audience. And you do have to be an elite level of speaker to have an expectation you're going to have audience every day wanting to see you. So knowing Zeno, who asked the question, is a real estate agent, he also knows that there's timely periods to do that. So, on a Monday after the weekend would be a good time for him to be doing videos, and clearly on a Thursday or Friday in the lead into the weekend.
Yeah, absolutely.
So timing is also important.
Yeah, true. Alrighty, guys. Well, it's close to 5 minutes to go till we wrap up to the top of the hour, as we say. And I'm just going to throw off to Phil and see, hey, Phil, have you got any more questions you want to ask Corey, or is there anything you want to share with us now, what you got out of it?
I don't know. As usual, I've got notes and notes. Now, I just want to clarify a few of these things in my chicken scratchings that I've got down here, just to make sure I'm on track with Corey. So, my number one thing is I need to be clear with my message when I'm doing a video. Know what I'm talking about.
Exactly.
Yep, why I'm saying it. And I need to be pretty comfortable and relaxed.
Yes, definitely.
Yep.
And if you're not, I'll make you relax.
Cool. And I should be doing video brand marketing to humanise my business and connect with my audience.
Yeah, that's right. So that's what I've been doing lately. It's called behind the scenes, basically, and you're basically showing behind the scenes of the business because people want to sort of know what the environment's like, what the culture's like in this business. So that's a great way to humanise your business for sure.
Okay. So I should try and make it a bit of an emotional experience for my audience.
Yes, definitely. Just by tapping in their emotions, or even on the other side, but your emotions, by you being so enthusiastic and upbeat about what you do, it gravitates. The audience can't help but gravitate to that and want to be a part of it.
Yeah, and as you did with the owl and Glenis, it positions yourself as the guru or the expert.
The wise one, Phil.
The wise one.
That's right. Yeah, if you have your video and you come off very confident, what you're saying is very informative, you do come off like the expert, more so than just text alone. Absolutely.
Yeah.
Well, I think my notes are pretty good then. I'm happy.
Thank you for listening. You've obviously been paying attention.
And I just want to say, Zeno, you're coming on as a panelist next week, and you're going to be sharing with us, because you're the guru in real estate, how to increase the value of your home by 20%. So for all of us on tonight's Academy, and when you start listening to this recording out there in social media world, if you want to know how to increase the value of your home by 20%, come on and listen to Zeno next week. And also, Zeno, we can talk a little bit more about the video and things like that if you want as well. Look, I want to thank you, Corey. You've been a wealth of information tonight for all of us, and not only me and Phil and Chris, but for everyone that's on the webinar on the drive home tonight. You clearly know your stuff. You're working with some big brands. You work with the little brands. You're out there empowering the property industry. And of course, he can work with anyone. You just need to have a chat with him. He knows what he's talking about. He knows how to make you look comfortable behind the camera, which is excellent. And the other tips that I got to take away was, if you're going to put up a video on your story on Facebook, you've got to use landscape. You've got to make sure that the light's in front of you. Although I quite like that halo effect you've got going on there, Corey. You've got a bit of a halo. It's on the side now. So and then, of course, we've got to get if we want our sound right, Phil chucked in a tip that we can go down to the JB Hi-Fi and we can get a microphone that fits any phone. So that's all I got to say tonight. You got anything you want to, just last minute, you want to share with us, Corey or Phil, before I wrap up?
All I want to say is definitely, if anyone wants that document I wrote about filming with your phone, please, contact me. I'm more than happy to pass it on.
Okay, great. Well, we'll be promoting this. This will be up on the RoB public Facebook group because, being part of Referrals Over Breakfast Networking, we do have a Facebook group, and so we'll put something up there and with a link to contact you to grab hold of that information. Yeah, Corey?
Yeah, great.
And of course, everyone, don't forget to jump onto the RoB Academy. You got to look at videos 20 and 21 for a start off and really understand how you can get your video positioning yourself in your business. And if you really want to go into how to get your messaging right, you need to start back at video 1. But I can tell you that if you jump from video 1 all the way and go all the way up to video 21, your business will be a whole different position, in 3 or 4 months' time. So thank you, Phil, once again. Thank you for making time for us. I know you're on a family visit on the Gold Coast. Thanks for being there.
Wouldn't have missed it, Glenis.
I know, it's great.
It's like visiting family here.
And thanks, Chris. Thank you for chiming in and giving us some more of your worldly information around social media and everything else. It's been really great.
No problem. Thanks for having me.
Yes, excellent. So remember, next week we're talking with Zeno around how to increase the value of your home by 20%. If you haven't got a home, it doesn't matter. Come on board anyway, because you might be able to share that information with someone else or bring someone else online. Or when you do get a home, then you're making lots of money in your business. which doesn't take years, by the way. You can come on board with more customers, more profits, and the RoB Academy. I'll coach you around the RoB Academy, and I'll have you doubling your profits within 12 months. So you'll be able to afford a home, and then you'll be able to increase it in value with Zeno by 20%. So that's all for me from Glenis. More customers, more profits. Wishing you all a great week in business. Have super wins. Hope you're celebrating it. And I'll talk to you again next week on the drive home with Zeno and Phil and Chris.
Bye.
See you later, everyone.
Bye.